the Supreme Court live there on the Supreme Court grounds. Shannon Bream, we have another decision here on student loans.
Okay, we actually have two, so we're trying to parse through this. The first case dealt with the individual borrowers, and what the court decided unanimously, Justice Alito wrote this, is that they don't have standing. So the case with the individual borrowers, they don't have standing, meaning they don't go anywhere on the merits of the case. But we're now getting in the second case. This is written, I believe, by the Chief Justice John Roberts, saying that the group of states who sued, it appears that they do have standing. So with that in mind, we now need to get to the guts of the case. It's 6-3. We know the Chief is writing for the majority, and Justice Kagan is dissenting, along with Justice Sotomayor and Jackson, which gives us a hint which way we think the case is going to go. But it looks like at least one of these cases says that there is standing for the states. Now, what they decide on the merits, we are still reading, and the hard copies are coming my way. But again, one of the cases tossed as we thought on standing. The other one does get to the merits by the dissent, and that's a trick I learned long ago, is that you look at this. Here we go. It says the court agrees with the states, this group of states. Here's Jack. Thank you, Jack. Okay. That the HEROES Act, that's what the Biden administration had used to justify forgiving part of the student loans. It doesn't authorize the debt forgiveness plan. So let me get here and make sure that I've got the right one. That one does not count. So, again, it looks like this is written by the Chief Justice, and it looks like another 6-3. Yes, Chief Justice Roberts, Thomas Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett join him. Justice Barrett files a concurring opinion. Justice Kagan files the dissenting opinion. Sotomayor and Jackson write. Okay, this is the conclusion of what the court says. It's become a disturbing feature of some recent opinions to criticize the decisions for which they disagree as going beyond the proper role of the judiciary, because a lot of people didn't think they should take this case. Today, we have concluded that Missouri is a proper case to this. They've gone through the traditional tools of decision-making analysis. Reasonable minds can disagree. And they say it's important that the public not be misled by some of what they're hearing about the court, which is interesting because there's been so much said about the court. It says the HEROES Act provides no authorization for the Secretary. Remember the Secretary of Education's plan, even when examined using the ordinary tools of statutory interpretation, let alone clear congressional authority for such a program. So first blush of this reading sounds like the student loan debt forgiveness plan is gone. It is not going to move forward in a 6-3 ruling. So
the Supreme Court has struck down President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, on which he tried to use the HEROES Act. And the court is saying in a 6-3 decision that is not going to be allowed. So there are millions of borrowers, 26 million, who had applied for this program, who are finding out today that that is not going to be something that they will be able to take advantage of. And Shannon, what's interesting is that leading up to this over the last few years, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, even President Biden himself, said, we don't have the legal authority to do this. This would not be constitutional. And yet they did it anyway. Was this the way for them to get to a decision so that they can say to the people agitating from their left that this is not constitutional, so therefore we can't do it? Let's find another way, perhaps economic growth, maybe tax cuts or something, to help people who are having a hard time paying their loans.
Well, and this is going to be another, now that the president is officially on this reelection campaign, this is going to be another argument that he uses, saying, I tried to get you those student loan forgiveness, debt forgiveness plans done, but the, quote, MAGA court, which is what the left has been calling them this week. They weren't the first part of the week when they liked the decision, but they're calling that now because they didn't like yesterday's decision. They're not going to like this one. He's going to say it was the Supreme Court stacked full of Trump appointees who kept me from giving you the student loan debt forgiveness. You got to imagine that's what's being crafted in their speech, and that's what they'll say. The court says this, the basic and consequential trade-offs inherent in a mass debt cancellation program are ones that Congress would likely have intended for itself. So they're saying the Secretary of Education, to point to any kind of clear congressional authorization, just isn't accurate. They didn't have the power to do this. The court often says we don't want to get involved in things that we thought that Congress was actually the ones to do, including billions of dollars of student loan debt cancellation. The dissent here, again, written by Justice Kagan, joined by Justices Sotomayor and Jackson, says this, the Secretary did no more, meaning the Education Secretary, to wipe these out under the HEROES Act, did no more than use lawfully delegated authority. So they clearly see this differently. The dissent believes that there was authority for the Secretary to do this. 6-3, the majority says no dice. And that student loan program, which, by the way, was voted down by the House and Senate just weeks ago, goes away officially.
And Shannon,
Fascinating.
a major breaking news right there, going to affect millions of people who potentially thought they were going to get up to $20,000 in forgiven student loans. Shannon, stand by, keep reading through that. We're going to bring in Jonathan Turley now. Jonathan, you heard Shannon mention that they decided they can't use the HEROES Act for this. For those who don't know, HEROES Act was post 9/11. It allowed the federal government to make changes to student loans or loans as a result of a national emergency. In this case, they were using COVID-19 as the national emergency, but that emergency is now over, so there was essentially no standing to use the HEROES Act. Am I understanding that correctly, Jonathan?
Yeah, this is a huge defeat for the Biden administration, politically and legally. It is only the latest such defeat and where the president has overreached on his authority. Previously, the president argued that he could use the CDC as the basis for the eviction moratorium during the pandemic, even though many of us said that he clearly lacked that authority. He went ahead and did it anyway. In fact, he admitted that by the time the courts might strike down his efforts, he could get a lot of money out the door. Well, that's a level of contempt that does not sit well with the courts. In this case, you had the HEROES Act, which is just a few pages long, was clearly designed to help people who were serving abroad in military conflicts so that they didn't have to worry about their college tuition payments. The use of the HEROES Act for this massive loan forgiveness program was absurd. It bordered on the obscene. I mean, it was clear that they could not get this through Congress, and that they decided to come up with this novel theory to circumvent Congress. What was really unbelievable to watch is that the Democrats applauded him for that. He essentially made Congress a functional non-entity, and half of Congress gave him a standing ovation.
Yep, Jonathan, indeed.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.